Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. My name is Shambhav, and I will be moderating this webinar today. Joining me today to discuss the use of team inboxes for Facebook and Twitter accounts is Prabhat Mishra. Prabhat is our manager at HelpWise, product manager at HelpWise, who has diverse experience in building SaaS products like Just Call, and CallRoute. Before we get started, I would like to take this opportunity to remind you to stay strong during these unprecedented times. I hope everyone out there is taking proper safety precautions. Now, a little bit about how we're going to conduct the webinar. The main purpose of this webinar is to show you a demo of the shared inbox feature for Facebook and Twitter accounts on HelpWise. You can tell us in the chat room why you're interested in this tool and how you'll be planning on using this feature for your business. Second thing, if you have any questions about HelpWise or its various features, you can leave those questions in the Q&A box down below the video, and we will circle back to those at the end. And the last thing, we will send out a replay not long after we've finished recording it, just in case you have to jump out or anything, if you missed anything. Don't worry, you can hold on to this and watch it as many times as you want. All right, I hope everyone's joined in. Let's get started with the webinar. Over to you, Prabhat.
All right. Thank you, Shambhav. And thank you everyone for joining us today. So before we start, I have some good news to share with our viewers right now. So the good news is that we have crossed 10,000 users milestone at HelpWise, and we are really excited about how things are going on. And we really, I would like to thank our users who has been there to support us, and with whom we take this product to greater heights. All right, so yeah, so before we begin, I just want to first of all talk about what a shared inbox is, right? So what happens is usually when you are running a business, you all have a common communication channel, like a common email address, for example, info at or help at email addresses. Or sometimes you also have communication via SMS or WhatsApp, right? So usually when the teams are small, it is very easy to manage the email conversations that are coming in. You just simply log in into your email account and start responding to your customers, right? But when you start to scale, that's where the problem starts to kick in. First of all, you cannot share passwords with your team members, right? So you cannot share the same password with hundred of team members in your team, and then when a lot of queries starts to come in, it's pretty much hard to see like who is handling which conversation, and whether the replies are going at the right time or at the right pace or not, right? So this is where HelpWise comes in, right? So HelpWise is a shared inbox software which allows you to collaborate on your team inboxes, whether your team inbox on email, SMS, WhatsApp, or social media accounts, right? So it allows you to create an inbox and have a same place where all your team members can come in and collaborate with each other to quickly and easily respond to your customer queries, right? And so the best part is, you just need to create an inbox and invite your team members on HelpWise. So once you invite them, they have their own login and password. So each team member has their own unique password, which they set. So you don't have to kind of like share the password with your team members, right? And then they can collaborate with each other, like they can assign a conversation so that everyone knows like who is handling a particular customer query, and they can also chat within themselves within the team to find out answers from each other, right? So all of these features are there that you will find in your HelpWise account, and it will help in making the support process or the sales process easier, right? Now, here's the interesting part, right? So the most interesting part of today's webinar is that we recently launched two inboxes, two shared inboxes for one is for the Facebook accounts, and the other one is for the Twitter accounts, right? I'm really excited to show you these inboxes and how they work. And before I begin with that, I just would like to, uh, go ahead and open my Helpwise account over here, right? So yeah, so I'm right here in my Helpwise account, and I have, as you can see, I have all the inboxes at one place. I can access my emails, I can access my SMS chat or WhatsApp chat, and then I can also now access the conversation that happen on Twitter account or my company's Facebook page, right? So let's dive in and open my Twitter inbox in Helpwise. Right. So so this is how the Twitter inbox looks, right? Well, once you create the inbox, you have to connect your Twitter account, and once you do that, you straight away, head over to this page where you can start receiving the queries that come in on your Twitter account, right? So before I show you all different features of the Twitter inbox, I'll just wanted to, show you what all these sections here means, right? So the first 5 sections that you see over here, these are the most important sections in any of the shared inbox in Helpwise, and same goes for the Twitter inbox, right? So let's talk about the unassigned section first. So every new conversation, begins its journey in the unassigned section, right? So whenever someone mentions you or mentions your Twitter handle on Twitter, you will straight away get that message in your Helpwise Twitter inbox, right? And that will land into the unassigned section, right? So it helps you in finding out what conversations are currently unassigned and is not being handled by any of the team member right now. So you can go ahead and, first of all, do one thing, assign it to the right team member, right? So I'll show you how we do that. Let's talk about the assigned section. So once you assign the conversation to the right team member, the conversation will move to the assigned section. This will help you in segregating the conversations, based on whether it is assigned or unassigned, right? You also get the all overview, right? So the all section basically allows you to see all the conversations at one place, irrespective of the fact that it is either assigned or not, right? So if you want to see every conversation at one page, you can, straight away go to the all section where you will find these, right? Now the most important part comes in, which is the mind section, right? So the mind section allows you to, so whenever someone, assign the conversation to you, it will show up in your mind section, right? So every team member can straight away log in into your Helpwise account, open the inbox and go to this mind section to find out what conversations they have to handle, right? So as you can see, I am in my mind section, and I can see that this conversation is assigned to me, right? So before I open this conversation, I just want to talk about one last section, which is the mentions section, right? So in Helpwise conversation, what happens is you can collaborate with your team member in the way that you can, kind of like chat with them. You can, mention your team members to notify them about your message or your question that you want to ask with them, right? So you don't have to kind of separately call them or reach out to them in case you need to discuss something with your team member, right? So whenever anyone mentions you, right, so the mention message stays within the conversation, and you can find that conversation in the mention section, right? So whenever someone will mention you, you can go ahead to the mention section in the Helpwise inbox and find where you have been mentioned, and you can reply from there, right? I'll talk about the other sections as well as we go through this session, right? Before I, explain what other section means, I just would like to, open the message that I have received that is assigned to me, and I would like to show you how, I can make use of the Twitter inbox to manage all the conversations that happen on Twitter, right? So as you can see, I have my one of my customer, mentioned me on mentioned our team on Twitter, right? asking about when today's webinar is, right? And all I had to do is, click on reply over here to reply to, you know, my customers mention, and I can just go ahead and type in my answer where and click on send, right? This will straight away reply to the, Twitter mention that my customer did uh, directly from Helpwise on Twitter account, right? So you don't have to separately log in into your Twitter account. You don't have to share your Twitter account passwords with your team members. Any team member can, use this option to reply to the queries that come on Twitter account, right? And it makes the process fast in the way that, let's say if you're getting a lot of mentions each day, every hour, you can assign the conversations to your team members from here in order to distribute the traffic that is coming in, and your team members and you can parallelly send out the uh, replies to the customer queries, right? Now, not only this reply option, you can also like the tweet from here, right? And you can also retweet your customer's tweet from here, right? So most of the functionalities, most of the things that you do on Twitter, you can very well do from the shared inbox as well, right? Let's say if I want to have a word with the team member, right? And I have a question I want to ask with them, right? So I can reach out to them using this notes section over here, right? If I want to mention my team member, I can just type at and then select the team member from here and type in my question for uh, type in my question which I need to ask with them, right? So whenever I mention somebody, it will uh, it will notify the team member with whom I mentioned, and then they can straight away jump in and quickly answer to my query so that I can quickly respond to my customer easily, right? Now let's say you are on a conversation right now, right? And you want to know like whether your other team members are also on this same page, right? That can also be done via Helpwise, right? So if you click on this option, you will find that if or whether other team members are on the same conversation or not, right? So this kinds of alert you in the way that you will get alerted by being careful in replying to the customer query, right? And your team member will also know that you are also in this conversation, so they will also be in an alerted mode, right? And let's say if you're replying to the query and if you're typing the message right now, the other team members will see that you are typing a reply, right? And this makes it kind of easier uh, to avoid any duplicate replies from being sent out, right? So that's great, right? Now, here's the some exciting other features that we have on Helpwise Twitter shared inbox, right? So let's say I have got this query from my customer, right? And I want to know like whether I talked to him previously or not. Like I can do that directly from here. All I had to do is click on this contacts panel, and from here I can track what previous conversations I had with this customer, right? I can see the topics of that, conversations here, and I can click on it to open the conversation and go through it to get a gist of what talk we had or my other team member had with the same customer, right? Now, let's say, I have sent out my reply and I have answered my customer's query, right? I want to move on to the next one. So before I move on to the next one, I would like to, close this conversation, right? Closing the conversation allows you to make this number, which is the number of active conversations in your inbox, to zero, right? So this way you will not get stressed out like how many emails are there or how many messages, Twitter messages are there, right? You'll just reply to the customer query, you resolve them, and you hit close to kind of archive your conversations from here, right? So once you close this conversation, it will go into the close section. Right? So it will not appear in the mine or in the assigned section. It will go into the closed section. So it helps you in making your inbox kind of clean, so that you can focus on what conversations are active right now. And then later on, if you want to find out, if you want to track or if you want to read out about previous conversation, you can always go to this closed section to find out all the conversations which are closed, right? Now talking about other options that are there, right? You can mark your conversations as important. So marking the conversations as important gives them a separate space in the inbox in the start section, right? So any query that you want to take up in priority that you need to reply quickly, you can mark them as important, so that every other team member will also know that this is important and you are handling it. And it also kinds of help you in prioritizing which question requires the answers first. If you want to circle back, you can mark your conversation as unread, and then you can also apply tags to the conversation, right? Applying tags is really helpful in the way that if you want to see like how many questions or conversations you're getting regarding one topic, right? Let's say. So you can create tags for that, right? So as you can see, I have created one tag for shared inbox. So any customer or user asks us about shared inbox, I can apply tags for that, right? And later on, if I want to find out like, what conversations I had related to this topic, I can click on this section and it will show me all the conversation which has this particular tag on it, right? And later on the analytics, I can also find out how many conversations are being showing up or are coming up for a particular topic, right? And then me and my team can work on that particular feature or topic to kind of reduce the customer queries around it. And basically this is what we wish to achieve, right? Now talking about the next option over here. So snooze feature, right? So snooze feature allows me to, circle back to this conversation at a later time, right? So let's say I have replied to this customer and I want to follow up with him in case he doesn't reply. I can snooze the conversation for a later time. And so while the conversation is snoozed, it basically goes into the snooze section, right? So it also kind of hides from the other sections over here, so that you can only focus on the conversations which are active. And then it will reappear in your mind section or in the assigned section when the snooze end, and it will also remind you, right? So you can take action accordingly, right? Now coming to the features that we have while we are writing a reply to a customer, right? So first feature is this scheduled reply, right? So not only I can send out the reply right now, I can also choose to reply at a later time, right? So that's where the scheduled reply comes. So if somebody mentions you on Twitter, you can, click on comment over here to reply. And then from here, you can type in the message and then, click on this option to schedule your reply to be sent out at a later time, right? While the conversation is in scheduled state, right? Which means that from now to the scheduled time, that conversation will remain in the in the schedule section, right? So I can later on, go to the schedule section to find out or to edit the message or to, change the schedule time, right? So that's how it helps me in finding out, the scheduled conversation. Now coming to the next feature, which is saved replies, right? So this is very helpful. Let's say you get, all of us get, frequently asked questions, right? We get a lot of queries around, let's say pricing or, how shared inboxes work, how I can connect my Gmail account, right? So these are quite common queries which we get a lot, right? So we don't want our, support team to type in the same answers again and again. And that's where we can, use the save replies feature, right? So all I have to do is, click on this and it will list all the replies I have saved in my account, and I can just click on it to add the message in my reply. Right? So I don't have to worry about typing in the message, or I don't have to waste my time typing in the same message again and again. I can quickly and easily reply to my customer questions. Right? Now we have the next option, which is the Help Center articles. Right? So Helpwise also has one more interesting feature, which is the Help Center feature. Help Center features allows you to create a Help Center site, which is a blog site or knowledge base site, right? Where you can add articles about your product, explain what features you have, right? So you don't have to kind of, go ahead or, hire a developer or, get a separate cloud space or a server where you can, post your uh, knowledge base. You can easily, within few clicks, you can create a Help Center from Helpwise, right? All you have to do is add a Help Center, and then you can start adding articles to your Help Center and start sharing the links with your customers, right? So let's say I have created my Help Center and I have added article about one of my features. I can share the link of those articles by using this option, right? So it shows me all list of all the articles I have, and if I click on it, it will add the link within my message easily, right? So yeah, so this is all the features that you get with the Helpwise Twitter inbox. It has made our team's life easier. We are now able to reply our customers' query, which comes on Twitter account very easily. We don't have to worry about sharing our Twitter account with our team, right? And we can very well, reply to multiple questions at the very same time, and collaborate with our team members at the same time, right? Now that we have talked about the Twitter inbox, I would like to show you the Facebook inbox as well, right? So let me just go ahead and open my Facebook inbox, right? So Facebook inbox are the inbox for the Facebook company pages that you have, right? And let's say if someone messages you or sends you a direct message on your Facebook page, you will get that message directly in your Facebook page inbox in Helpwise. So, again, I don't have to share my Facebook password with my team members, right? And I can very well handle multiple queries at the same time using the shared Facebook inbox of Helpwise, right? Now, in this inbox, also you get all the features or functionalities of a shared inbox, right? You get this unassigned section and the mind section to track your conversations, and then you also get the snooze section to find out snooze conversation, or schedule section for the schedule messages, right? Let's jump in and see what messages I've got on my Facebook inbox, right? So one of my customer texted me from Facebook, DM'd me on our Facebook page, right? And I got this message straight away on this inbox, right? I was able to reply using this option over here, right? I can start chatting with my customers directly from here, and I don't have to, separately log in to my Facebook account to, reply to my customer, right? Since Helpwise also send notifications, so I can also get notified about any reply that my customer sends, right? Sorry. And then, with all the collaboration features, I can track if somebody else is viewing the conversation at the same time. I can also assign the conversation to my team members, and then, apply tags or snooze the conversation for a later time, right? Replying to the customers, while replying to the customers, you also get the same features, which I showed you on the Twitter inbox, which is the schedule send, and then the Help Center articles, and then the saved replies, right? So all of these features are available for Facebook shared inbox as well. Now, the last part, which is the previous conversation, you can click on this context panel and find out the previous conversations in the Facebook page as well, right? So with this, I would like to, end this session or end my demo to you guys. And let's head over to the Q&A section.
Thank you so much for that, Prabhat. I can certainly see how helpful these features are going to be for businesses, especially for those who deal with a lot of customer queries on Facebook and Twitter pages. All right, so let's move on to the Q&A part of the webinar. We have a few questions from attendees. I think Simon has asked, how can I set up the Facebook inbox?
Oh, all right. Yeah, that's a very great question. So let me go ahead and go back to my Facebook account. So creating an inbox is very easy. Just click on inbox on the top and then go ahead to add inbox. So this is where you will find all the inboxes listed here. And for creating Facebook inbox, just click on create now. Now here it will ask you to connect your Facebook account. Just click on this button and it will take you to your Facebook account where you authorize Helpwise to send the messages on your behalf. So once you do that, you will be able to see the Facebook account right here in your inbox, and you can start receiving messages straight away.
Okay, I hope that answered your question, Simon. The next question comes from Tamara. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The question is, can I track analytics of these inboxes?
That's a very great question. Yeah, definitely. So we have this analytics section where you can find the analytics about all the inboxes that you have in your Helpwise account. You can also filter out to find out analytics for any particular inbox, right? And then I can track like how many messages are coming in and how many replies are being sent out by my team. I can also track the average response of my team, right? Which allows me to find out whether the performance is increasing or whether I need to look after something. So with this quick glance, I can very well track what's going on within the team and within the conversation I get on my each inboxes. Right. I can also track the messages that are sent by a particular team member. Right. So I hope this answers your questions, and let me know if there is any further questions.
Okay, so Jason has asked, can I use a tool like Fleek within Helpwise? Do you have any integrations that make this even easier to connect the two or something similar?
All right. Yeah. So as I stated in the beginning of the webinar session, right? So our team loves to talk about our customers' requirements, right? So this seems to be a great integration, right? As of now, we don't have this integration right now, but I can surely share it with my team and get this discussed. And I would really love to connect with you to know more about the use case for this, so that we can work on it and make this live for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we're always open to address different use cases via integrations. So we can always add more integrations in the future. And Rodrigo has asked, can you explain again how the status assignation works? I think he means how you can assign those conversations.
Exactly. So for any type of inbox, let me go ahead and open my Facebook inbox. So all I have to do is either I can select the conversation from here and assign it to my team member, right? Or if I want to assign any particular, I can click on this option and click on this button, and it will assign the conversation to that team member.
Okay, so he meant status closed. How you can close the conversation.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry. So for closing the conversation, you can click on this button to close the conversation. If you want to close multiple conversation, you can select those from here and click on this button, and it will close the conversation and move it to the close section over here.
And Matthias has asked if there's a way to change who the conversation is assigned to. Can you show us again?
Exactly. Very, very well. So for right now, let me just, I can also reopen the conversation. So let me just do that first, right? And once I've done that, right now it is assigned to Dennis, right? And I can change it to Thomas, let's say, right? I can assign to anybody else. So anyone can assign the conversation to anyone at any point of the conversation journey. And there are logs created within the conversation, so you can track from whom to whom the conversation traveled to.
Okay. And the next question comes from Gaurav, who has asked if Help Center is included in the pricing or do we have to pay extra?
Exactly. So yeah, very well. The Help Center feature is available in our premium plan, right? So you can create one help center on that. And in case if you want to add more to your account, more help centers, you can do that using our add-ons, right? So let me just quickly give you a glance of that. Right? So on our premium plan, you are able to set up one help center, and then you can go ahead and add more help centers using our add-ons plan over here.
Okay, and can you show us a sample of the help center?
Exactly. So let me just go ahead, and so this is the demo Helpwise help center I've created for you guys. And from here, I can, add articles to it. And once I create the help center, it gives me a unique link. So my link is this one, right? I can go ahead and open this. And this will show me the, this is the articles I have. I can also, customize this, like if I want to have a logo over here, or if I want to, add menus on the top, so I can customize that as well, right?
Okay, and the last question comes from Alice, who has asked, does Twitter inbox also support direct messages?
That's a very interesting question, right? So currently, the Twitter inbox allows you to, receive and send replies to the mentions that you get on your Twitter account, right? And I have some great news around this as well, because our team, as of now, is working on, providing an inbox for Twitter DMs as well, right? So I'm sure very soon we'll be doing another webinar on that too, and I'm really excited to what is there to come with our Twitter direct message inbox.
All right, I think that wraps up the Q&A section of the webinar. For all those of you who couldn't join or had to leave midway, the webinar is being recorded and a replay will be sent shortly after the webinar is over. And thank you so much for joining in, guys. If you have any questions, you can just email us at help@helpwise.io, or you can visit our website and chat with our customer support anytime you want. Prabhat, is there anything that you'd like to say?
Yeah, definitely. So it was a lovely session with you guys, and I'm looking forward to, have more of these sessions with you guys again. And at last, I hope everyone is staying safe, and I wish everyone a good health.
One question comes from Jason. Let's answer this question. So he has asked, any advancements for Instagram?
Exactly. So as I mentioned, we have, our team is working on Twitter DMs as well. And along with that, our team is also working on Instagram feature as well, right? So yeah, I'm seeing both of these in our feature, releases, and very well soon you will be able to get the inbox for Instagram as well.
Yeah, I think you can keep an eye on our roadmap. It's available on our website, and you can view all the features that are going to be released in the next few months. We don't have a time frame as of yet, but you can expect it by, I think, October.
I think, yeah.
Okay. So thank you guys for joining in. This is Prabhat and Shambhav signing off. Have a good day. Bye-bye.